Hey folks, welcome back to Magician Levels Up, the second half, a reboot of the year. We're taking it month by month now, so how am I doing this month? The goals were simple and broken down. They were lose 2 stone, work on my AIMC exam act, get my website up and running, at least a temporary version with pictures that are placeholders. And how am I doing? Weight-wise, great. I'm 1 stone, 4 pound down already in 3 weeks. That's pretty fast, but the size that I started at, it's fairly normal to be that fast to begin with. Website-wise, I have edited some Craig Petty videos. I've got a Disney holiday coming up, and I will need to finish these 3 projects before then. So the website copy is going to be written, but I don't think it's going to go live until I get back from Disney. And the act is going well. Working on it, practicing. We're going to get there. Now, I thought it might be interesting to discuss what I do in a day to do the Magician Levels Up thing. So let's do that. Each day starts here, mostly to wake me up and get me started for the day. I'll come in here after I get up, solve a Rubik's Cube, fast as I can. I'm not a world record breaker. I can do 60 to 90 seconds. It's enough that I know I can reset the cube if I need to, and I'm on stage and something's gone wrong. Run through my moniker, make sure I can remember the stack to sharpen my brain and make sure I know a few of the tricks. I particularly like using this deck for this, the very subtly marked Daredevil deck, which I have used with spectators not noticing. And then practice whatever is currently my practice of choice, which is the Advocate at the moment. Any ideas? Go in the Create book. It's kind of sparse in there. Then it's 2 litres of water a day, an hour with a strap on my back, trying to straighten my shoulders out, try and work out the years of sloped shoulders caused by stress, suffering, misery, and other side effects of working for Craig Petty. Health-wise, I try and do at least 2 of these things every single day. 1 if it's a heavy gig day, but at least 1, ideally 2, sometimes 3. Starting with number 1, the gym, 45 minutes on the cross trainer and 15 minutes light weights. I'm in the car about to head off to the gym, which I find incredibly awkward to film for you because I'm not a 20-something blonde with those leggings with the ass crack that make you look really good. So here's a wise wall. No wise wall, you patronising. Or 30 minutes walking in the park in a weird Japanese way, apparently, that I learnt off YouTube. It's probably nonsense, but it gives me something to do, where you walk for 3 minutes at a normal walking pace, and 3 minutes, I believe they described it as if you're trying to rush for a plane in the airport without getting tackled by security. So really brisk walk for 3, slow walk for 3, 30 minutes around the park. Whether this does anything more than normal walking, I have no idea, but it gives me something to put on a form and tick off. It's quite exhausting, and I do it dressed like a homeless James Keatley, as you can see. If anyone has the slightest idea what this small cult of wooden aliens is doing chanting around this tree, I would appreciate the information. Option number 3. We hit the VR. If you haven't got one of these and you've got the room for it, there is no more fun way to lose weight. I live in an old school terraced house, which means several things. It means when I need to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, I have to come from the top of upstairs to the bottom of downstairs. It means outside the freezer, it is colder than inside the freezer. But it also means I have this secondary lounge for best old school room that I've completely dedicated to VR and some weights that I bought that are much heavier than I remember them being when I was last working hard at the gym. You don't need this much space for VR, but it certainly helps to avoid punching the walls, which can be embarrassing. Do inform your family of what you are doing, as it is very possible while exercising in VR to achieve maximum sexiness, which can be distracting. And of course, there's always the nuclear option, sorting the garden. There's got to be a good stone in tidying that up, surely. In an effort to give you some useful information before I check out, I'm going to bang on about the Advocate Index again. It's truly my current obsession at the moment, this little thing. I don't mind exposing it to you because if you watch the trailer for it, it's fully on display. The original Advocate was just a card box with the side ripped off. This is a gimmick specially crafted for the effect, with a protective bar here to keep the cards in place, and another one here which keeps these ones better in place so it doesn't move around your pocket. Since the last time I talked about this, by the way, I'm not sponsored by this, I don't know Daniel Madison. I just currently hooked on this thing. One thing that I've changed is that these are now Bicycle Prestige plastic cards, which makes everything 50 times easier. I was crushing decks in my pocket, and as you riffle through to find what you're looking for and you bend the cards. I've been using this deck for a few weeks now. It still looks like it's brand new, and you have to be as gentle with the cards so it's much easier to flick through and find out what you're looking for. There is a second setup that is suggested on the video where the clubs are raised on a diagonal here, making it much easier to find every card, because the one possible slower thing with this is finding the clubs. I mentioned in my previous video that I didn't think it was at all practical, that it wouldn't stay that way in your pocket and the cards would be crushed to bits so much faster. I haven't yet tried it with the plastic cards, so I think I'll be annoying people in Florida with this over the next few weeks, trying it out the other way, seeing if I can actually endorse that method using the plastic cards. But if you're going to use an index, cannot recommend these plastic cards more. I mean, I'm not doing complex sleight of hand with them, but they are perfect for what you need. What am I using it for? Without giving away stuff, I like to do Chicago opener, but I ask the spectator beforehand what their favourite card is as a sort of a casual comment while they're shuffling. If you're weird enough, if you're weird enough to have a favourite playing card, what would it be? And they forget about that. And I do the first phase of Chicago opener, and the second phase of Chicago opener is the table card changing into their named card. When I first did this, I didn't think the difference would be any different I think the difference would make any odds to the spectator. I thought it'd be just for me, but the difference in reaction is epic. I literally have to do something non-card after I open with that, because it's such a strong reaction that any other card trick just gets completely ignored while I talk about that. Other things I've been experimenting with are using a Josh J Phantom deck. So I get them to shuffle these while telling me their favourite card, and then focusing on the deck and trying to see if they can see what the cards are. Maybe just one maybe just focus really hard on one card. Will come into focus in the middle of the deck. And when I'm feeling really confident, the Stealth Assassin just goes on the table. And this favourite card in this section here miraculously becomes any named card at the end of the set. I am utterly obsessed with this thing. I think it's the best index I've ever fiddled with. Somebody recommended the Rough and Smooth index in one of the comments on an earlier video. I do want to have a look at that one, but I have become index crazy. You know what? That'll do this week. I'm going to wrap up there so that I can actually get the video out on the day it's supposed to, for a change. Next week I'll have a good interview for you. And the following few weeks I'm at Disney. I will vary that up. I might have some interviews prepared. I've got some footage of other things I can use, and I'll add some stuff in from Disney as well. That's a lot for this week. Leave some comments below. Subscribe to the channel. Join the Facebook group. See you next week.